as Jonathan Hernandez comes out and takes the lead. Oh, we got lots of stuff going on here. Oh my god, there is death everywhere. Everyone got tight and have just gone up and slammed the wall. Boomerang shoes in that one, Jordan Lee. A lot of people just getting very tight there on the corner exit. It'd be almost easier to tell you who was not involved. I can see Jonathan Hernandez still on track, Clayton Ward, Ryan Pizzakemi, and I'm going to have to talk to Cosmo about how to pronounce his last name there. Because I have no idea how to pronounce it. That's the driver of the 48 car, who I believe is just coming to... Oh! He's just punched himself into the end of... M here going into turn 1. So he's got 25 of Brandon Miller behind him, who just went through him a little bit. Sam does have an issue with being low on blinker fluid. Not sure if that's what caused that or not. Oh, Sanchez. Very lucky not to hit Sam head on there. Damn.
And of course, you for all that you're doing. I'm sorry.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Darlington Raceway for the Speedway Memes Media 110 right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. Hope you're all having a fantastic night out there so far. We currently have 25 trucks signed up for racing here tonight. I know it says 26, but one of them has already bitched out. I don't blame them though. It's Darlington, the track too tough to tame. The lady in black. As everyone is just about getting ready for a pit party by the looks of things. They're getting extra organised without me. Apparently my wheel decided it didn't want to let me talk in server, so I couldn't announce it myself. So thank you to Travis for getting that organised in my stead. He called it just as I was about to call it, and then I couldn't call it. But here we go for the pit party. They're coming out of 4, they're off and racing. Travis being one of those who started on the front row there. And it's a very, very slick setup. You can see the 94 there of Andrew Hennessy trying to carve his way through the field a little bit. Maybe practicing for later on. Oh, there's one's off in the background. I think that might have been the double O. And it was of Jonas Marquez. Oh, around goes Corey Cook. That's coming out of turn 4. He's kept it off the wall though. Very nice. Well saved. Just rubs up against the wall for the stripe anyway. That's another thing you'll be hearing a lot of is the Darlington stripe. You mostly get it in the middle of turns 1 and 2 and all the way through turns 3 and 4. Look at that 3 wide with TJ Crampton all the way down on the apron. And that's caused a bit of check up there. Does everyone get through? No, James is in the fence and sideways. Oh, I think Frank just glanced off him. That is not how you're meant to earn your Darlington stripe. Looking at Travis right now, Travis Barnes. He's got the other Travis in front of him, Travis Massier. Just in front of both of them. Oh, around goes Massier. Oh, that's chaos. That's death. That's Travis on Travis crimes. Frank caught up in it. Someone got launched over the fence into the old pit lane. The former front stretch here. There's a 22 Reggie Ortega. Right behind him, TJ Crampton. In front, Ken Campbell. And where's Ken standing in the standings? He's 4, so it's possible that he's racing shirtless. If he's not shirtless, then he's definitely wearing a V-neck. Keep looking at this group of people here. We're still looking at the Campbell, Ortega, Crampton and Hennessy grouping here. Hennessy's trying to go for a move on Crampton. This is in turns 3 and 4 onto the front straight. And Crampton with just that little bit more momentum on the outside line, able to maintain. Now Hennessy will have to reset and try again. Hennessy gets a mean run going through turn 1 there. It gets a slightly better run out of 2 as well, right up on the bumper. Can he do anything with it? Gives him a little bit of a push going into turn 3 by the looks of things. And that's a stripe for Hennessy. And that ruined all of his momentum. Travis Barnes currently sitting on top of the timetables. A 30.149. The track is getting faster. Andrew Hennessy currently sitting in P2. Just 0.023 of a second off of the time set by Barnes. In fact, our entire top 4 separated by less than a tenth of a second. Griesbaum in 5th. 0.105. Entire field who have set times down to Sanders in 24th, currently separated by just under 9 tenths, so it's under a second for the entire field spread. But by the looks of things, we might have 2 early retirements already. So I see Brian Chambliss' name. Oh no, he's still there. I was going to say Chambliss' name was yellowed out, and it had been yellowed out for a while. He's back in there. At the moment, only Andrew Perkins is retired, left the building, said no more. That's another thing too. I just saw someone peeling off into the pits to practice a pit entry. Darlington has one of the hardest pit entries to try and nail. Even though you'd think it'd be easy because, you know, you've got to slow down so much for that little corner. It's so easy to overshoot the entry with how tight the very inside of the track is, where the pit entry is. And that yellow line there really does not help. Not one bit. Time is ticking down. We've got just under 7 minutes of practice left to go. Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough one for some of these guys, but it looks like for the most part, once people get this run going, they can really handle themselves all right. And maybe just getting out of the groove a little bit can definitely change things around a bit. Sorry for the long silence there. There's some stuff going on that I was just talking to other people about. There's about 9 laps left of practice, so just under 4 minutes and 20 seconds. As Hennessy gets another stripe right in front of Harmon. And how that did not turn into a 4-car pile-up, I'll have no idea. Hennessy pulls out the way. Thomas was so lucky, he just gave him a little graze on the ass instead of completely spinning out Hennessy and causing all kinds of check-up. Especially since I think Chris Champeau has much fresher tyres than everyone in that little group. And that could have ended very badly for everyone. The Crampton's on 20 lap old tyres at the moment actually, so yeah, it would have been pretty bad. There's TJ Crampton currently down in 14th. Not where he wants to be. He'll be looking to improve that in qualifying and in the race. Going through your order real quick, it's Barnes, Hennessy, Horton, Collins, Campbell, Slammer, Griesbaum, Harmon, Cook, and Watson as your top 10. Then there's Rickard, Gaston, Faylor, Hernandez, Crampton, Champeau, Chambliss, Ortega, Massia, McCoy. That's down to 20th, and Marquez, Isaacson, Kraus, Pentacuff, and Sanders, with Perkins already retiring. And I'm surprised numbers are a bit down this week. I'm not overly disappointed by this though, because it means less havoc on my PC. But it should maybe clean up the racing a little bit. We'll see. See if we get any latecomers into the racing action. There's still plenty of time for people who are in the league to sign up to race if they haven't gotten here yet. They got until the end of qualifying. And Campbell going for a big move here on Thad Faylor, all the way down to the apron. Slides up side by side with Chris Champeau. Gets them both. That was a nice 2-for-1 there. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will have the results of qualifying. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the Speedway Memes Media 110 right here from the Darlington Raceway. Coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Speedway Memes Media 110 right here from the Darlington Raceway. As you can see, qualifying has just drawn to a close, and we have 21 drivers who have set times for racing here tonight. And some of my overlays are a little bit skew but we've got Andrew Hennessy and Austin Collins who are going to be leading the way. And then we're going to have Scott Rickett out of P3. Brian Chambliss, 67, he'll be out of 4. He's still running the Scott Bloomquist tribute paint. Ken Campbell will be out of 5 in the 15. Travis Barnes out of P6 in the 106. In P7, we're going to have the 22 of Ghost On. Joe Slama, he'll be in 8th in the 9 car. P9 is the 22 of Reggie Ortega. P10, the 03 of TJ Crampton. And we'll have the 2 of Johnson Hernandez out of 11th. Chris Champo into 12th from 12th. Then out of 13th, we will have the 7 of Kyle Krause. There's the 68 of Andrew Griesbaum. Travis Massia in the 13, he'll be out of 15th. And James Watson, he'll be out of 16th in the 39 car. 17th, we'll have the 61 of Corey Cook. And then the 16 of Kyle McCoy out of 18th. Frank Isaacson in the 24, he'll be out of 19th. Jack Sanders in the 25, he'll be out of 20th. Thomas Harmon in possibly his worst qualifying effort ever, out of 21st, 2.6 seconds off the lead. Matt Horton be out of 22nd, the first car to not qualify. We've got Thad Faylor out of 23rd. Jonas Marquez, he'll be out of 24th. And then all alone in the 25th position will be the 5 of Mark Pentacuff. As Andrew Perkins, I don't know where he is or where he popped up. He will not be participating. Hundred and 10 laps of the Darlington Raceway loom ahead of us here. Field will start to pull off as we get ready to go green. "25 drivers, 110 laps. The first start is on green. All the restarts will be on the leader inside of the restart zone. The leader will also have lane choice for the restarts. And it is the track too tough to tame. The lady in black herself, the Darlington Raceway, and she looms large. She's a big girl and she demands respect. So here we go, the pace car makes that hard left turn into pit lane. The field stacks up as they get ready in anticipation for the green. And we are off and racing for the Speedway Memes Media 110 right here from the Darlington Raceway. Immediately, it's a very decent jump for both drivers on the front row. But Andrew Hennessy with the inside line takes full advantage. Austin Collins got a little bit loose there in the high line. We're immediately going to start looking through the field because shenanigans are bound to happen here in the early laps. Cars all over the place, all throughout the track. But for the most part, it looks like everyone being able to hold on to it. There's a 22, Reggie Ortega. He's falling like a rock right now. Like he's just trying to find his own little space of track to drive on. Although he's continuing to fall down the auto, a little bit loose there as well. Like he wants to drop all the way to the back. Maybe some kind of an issue there for the driver at 22. I saw in the background, Jonas Marquez has gone around. He's back up across the track. And how was that not a caution? I have no idea. We continue on. Unfortunately, Jonas Marquez, the first victim of racing action here tonight, getting loose out of 2. clouting that inside fence. There's Andrew Griesbaum. He's currently in 10th. He's looking pretty solid there. Just up ahead of him is a bit of a battle. There's Slama. There's Ortega and Crampton. Just in front of all them is Chambliss. Ortega got loose. Crampton just trying to look for any way he can get, trying to will the 9 of Slama along. Ortega caught the fence. That's not going to be good. He's going to drop a little bit here. And he'll lose position to both Slama and Crampton. Still Hennessy leading the way. But just over a 10th to Collins. And we might be in the clear here. As long as nobody steps on their dick, I don't think we'll get a chance for a caution here in the next few laps. So we might be fine. One person who's definitely not fine, though, Jonas Marquez. That's very unfortunate. And it doesn't look like he's available for interview either, which sucks, but, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. Let's go check in on our leaders. There they are. Andrew Hennessy leading the way. Right behind him, Austin Collins and Scott Rickard. Thomas Harmon has already made his way into 18th by the looks of things, after starting 21st. So Kyle McCoy currently the biggest mover, up 5 from where he started. But look at the lines that the leaders taking here. Austin just trying to run a slightly different line in 3 and 4 to gain any kind of extra momentum over Hennessy he can. And it looks like, unfortunately, Jonas Marquez has succumbed to his car, and he is OUT out of the race. But yeah, all is looking pretty calm here at the moment. Go look through the field here a little bit. And it looks like we've landed on Chambliss. He's all in space all his own. Looks like everyone's mostly strung out now. Everyone's just trying to race the track. There's Thomas Harmon. He's in 17th now. He's been slowly working his way through the field. So we'll go back up to Ken Campbell and back up to our leaders. I'm actually going to put focus on Thomas here. He's on the back of Travis Massia. And Travis pulled over, let him go. So that's another plus for Thomas Harmon as he's moved into 16th. It'll be very interesting watching what Thomas can do from here. Apparently Corey Cook set the fastest time last lap at 31.307 for the last lap completed. Last lap currently resides with Scott Rickard. Go back to just focusing anywhere and everywhere. There's Travis Barnes. He was hoping for big things. He's gained one from where he started. There's TJ Crandon. He's another one who's been making a lot of moves. He's up 4, started 10th in P6. Joe Slama. He's been stuck with the 8th, so he started 8th, then he's still currently 8th. Scott Rickard though right on the tail of Austin Collins, says Corey Cook. Last week he was running a tribute scheme for Scott Bloomquist. This week back to his regular colours. Looks like Frank Isaacson has already gone a couple laps down as well. Not sure what happened to Frank. That is quite unfortunate though. Hopefully maybe he can catch a couple of lucky cautions and get up into the lead laps once more. We're looking at Chambliss and Slama. Slama just looming there on the bumper of Chambliss. Trying to maybe just get him out of the groove a little bit. See if he can make a move, make something happen. The Darlington's really a pressure to pass kind of track. Not really something that you can just brute force your way through. Especially once the tyres start falling off. It's a very hard to pass track. You have to make the most of every opportunity when it presents itself. We're looking at Ortega. As Slama did try and go for a move there on the inside of turn 1. Couldn't quite pull it off. Now Ortega right on his tail. So too is Jonathan Hernandez. Ortega looked for the move to the inside. Couldn't quite get there. And that actually opened the door slightly for Hernandez, but he couldn't make anything of it either. Hernandez right on the tail of Ortega. It looks like they've all calmed back down again, staying in the single file formations. Although Slama still seems to be a bit spicy. Still trying to look for a move. Somehow, some ways, Mark Penscup has gone to the pits. So Mark maybe with some damage on the 5 truck. Slama gets a good run coming out of turn 1. Side by side with Chambliss, he goes into 3. So too does Jonathan Hernandez with Reggie Ortega. And they'll continue drag racing side by side down the front chute. Slama makes the move stick. What can Hernandez do? Oh, Hernandez couldn't quite get the run that he wanted. And now he's under pressure from Griesbaum. Oh, and he had to massively get out of it, just so he didn't squeeze Griesbaum into the fence. Hernandez just lost a ton of track position there. He went up from being in 10th to all the way down in 13th because of that one maneuver. And at some point, Scott Rickard has gotten around Austin Collins. We completely missed that. But Scott Rickard now, your P2 driver. There's the 61 and the 68. Corey Cook, Andrew Griesbaum, as they start battling side by side. Griesbaum takes the advantage, continues on. The track gets really narrow coming out of turn 2. Or as it used to be called, treacherous turn 4. And it's because of how narrow the track becomes there is why it was so weird and so treacherous. As Griesbaum now fancies a move on the 22 of Ortega. Into turn 1 he goes. Couldn't quite get the slide job cleared, had to leave room. Could be to Ortega's advantage. Oh, they just about touched. They managed to keep it going. Griesbaum's still there, so Griesbaum's still with the advantage. McCoy was almost going to put his nose up on the inside of Cook. And Griesbaum still not with the advantage. Cook now trying to take advantage, gives a big shove to Griesbaum. That time there's contact, looses Griesbaum. Into the fence was McCoy. Hernandez gets one. Harmon's just joined in on this battle. He's looking for a move as well. All action stations right now here in the mid-pack. The tail end of the top 10. Corey Cook still just trying to look for any kind of an advantage, and he can't get there. Griesbaum has him cleared, has the run. And now they'll have to settle down for a couple of laps, bring their tyres back into temp and try it again. As Griesbaum caught the fence. That's what happens when you overdrive it slightly. Here comes Corey Cook once more. To the inside of turn 3. Reggie Ortega was slow coming out of 2 as well. The outside line of 4 seems to be the advantage, just about a touch between Griesbaum and Cook. There might have been a little bit of a touch, a little bit of unsettledness there for both those cars. And I'm trying not to get too excited because I don't want to ruin my voice, because I have... I've got a throat issue right now. And I really shouldn't be getting too excited. But I am, because it's racing, and racing is exciting. Ortega now, the cork in the bottle. He has Griesbaum and Corey Cook lined up behind him. And they'll be looking for any move on each other or him. We also got to remember, back here, looming in the background, the 38, Thomas Harmon. He'll be looking to make up spots after his terrible qualifying effort. Andrew Hennessy's been putting in some pretty sick laps. He has over a second gap on Rickard now. And Griesbaum, he left the outside open. Corey Cook tried to fill it. Whoa, that was shifty. That was very shifty. I mean, it worked out for them, but that was very dangerous. That could have almost ended in complete disaster. Now it looks like the 16. Kyle McCoy trying to look for a move on the inside of Hernandez. Didn't quite have the run going. We'll go back to Corey Cook. He got right. Oh, Hernandez. Very loose. Very loose Hernandez. He's gathered it back up, and he will merge back onto the track. As Griesbaum now looks for the outside move on Ortega. Using all the momentums, and I think he's going to have the move stuck. Going into turn 1 here, he does. Now Corey Cook looking to the outside of Ortega into turn 1. The outside move is the place to be. Ortega dropping 2 in an instant. The battle is still on between Griesbaum and Cook though. Just up ahead of them, Brian Chambliss, who seems to be struggling just ever so slightly. At least compared to these two. But with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're just going to watch a little bit more shenanigans, I guess. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More racing action coming up shortly. Welcome back to the Speedway Memes Media 110 here from the Darlington Raceway. You can see Corey Cook not only made the move on Andrew Griesbaum, but has just completed the move on Brian Chambliss as well. Austin Collins has come into the pit, so too has Kyle Kraus. I think Fowler has also made a pit stop. But Corey Cook on a charge right now. These older tyres working a treat for him, so too for Griesbaum. As both of them have gotten around Chambliss. Chambliss now dropped down to the 9th position. It seems that we're getting a lot of green flag stops right now. I was not expecting this to possibly be a 2-stop race. But apparently that is the way that this is working out. Also quite a bit of radio chatter going on that I can't hear right now. And is Kyle Kraus out? Oh no, I think Kyle Kraus is out. Oh no, that sucks. I think Kraus might have had an issue in the pits in some way, somehow. And Austin Collins, he was right up there in the top 3 as well. It looks like he had a normal stop. It was 14-second stop time. Was it 48 seconds overall in the pits? We start lap number 40 right now, which means there'll be 70 laps to go next time at the line. Yeah, the racing action just starting to intensify here a little bit. Oh, big time loose. That was McCoy in the 16. He lost all handle there for a second. Lost at least one position to Horton. Comes right up in front of Chris Champeau. Both of them having to deal with the 74 of Austin Collins, though, who's carving his way through on the fresher tyres. Now, there is a lot of fall off around this track. So these fresh tyres are giving Austin the biggest of undercuts right now. The fast lap is a 30.618. Current lap time for our leader, a 32.570. As it looks like Kyle McCoy is going to come into the pits. So 2 stops does look like it's going to be the play of the race at the moment. But look at the speed that Austin has compared to, what's that, Chambliss. Thomas Harmon even. He's just flying. Now we're either getting 2 stops in this race, or these guys who are pitting now have figured out that they can make it to the end from here. But look at Austin go. Just carving his way through everyone. Oh, big slide into the fence for the 68 of Griesbaum. He's going to lose a spot for the 38 of Harmon there. Griesbaum just lost the on-track P9 to Thomas Harmon, who has put in a mammoth effort. Currently P9 after, sorry, P8 after starting 21st. Go back to focusing anywhere and everywhere. Jack Sanders has gone a lap down, but he did not pit yet. At least not to my knowledge. The first car on fresh tyres is that 74 car, and he's almost to the point of just about driving his way back onto the lead lap. He's right behind Jack Sanders right now. And past Jack Sanders he is. Sanders caught the fence there a little bit. To Austin now, the first car 1 lap down in 18th. Oh, this is a tight little pack. The 61 of Cook, the 22 Ortega, the 12 of Champeau. Travis Massio looks like he's in the pits. So lap 55 is the magic number to make it all the way. You can't make it to lap 55, you have to make 2 stops or save a little bit of gas. This big group of cars catching up to Brian Chambliss now. That Failor, he's on fresh tyres. Looks like he's just taking it easy as the 51. That's Horton. Went for a big dive underneath Chambliss. Failor just trying to run super low. He didn't want to get involved in this battle. He just wanted to drive through them. Looks like he's getting held up at almost every standing right now. There's a little bit loose there, was the 67 car. Oh, big into the fence was Chambliss. That might have done quite a bit of damage to the 67 truck. Looks like he can still turn. But that thing will be tighter than a nun's nasty now. Having a look through, and it's now nearly a 3-second gap between Hennessy and Campbell. Oh, the 5. Mark Pentecoff tried to slide up in front of the 16, Kyle McCoy. It didn't work out for him. He jumped on the biters there and moved back. And I can see Travis Masia still in the pits. He's 4 laps down. So he didn't come in for a conventional stop. He came in to get damage fixed. He was in his pit box for 102.4 seconds. There's a 2 of Hernandez. He's trying to hold off the 67 now. As Travis Barnes has come into the pits. Austin Collins has driven his way back onto the lead lap. Like the 24, Frank Isaacson just trying to get out of the way there. Oh, Hernandez, he caught the fence. He hates this place. He said before the race he's going to look at intentionally wrecking so he doesn't have to race here again. Oh no! 67, Chambliss had a big wiggle coming out of turn 4. Contact with the inside fence there. Hopefully there's not too much damage to the truck. It would seem having the Bloomquist tribute paint on it has not done him any favors the last couple of weeks. There's got more takers for the pits now. Watson, Crampton, and Griesbaum are all in. They've got a flurry of pit stop activity at the moment. There's the 106 of Barnes on his fresh tyres, zooming around. And it looks like he's going to just jump TJ Crampton. Oh, big crash. Turn 3, there's multiple cars involved. They're still crashing. Caution's out. Oh no, Jonathan Hernandez got involved in it. Let's back this up. See what has unfolded here. They're looking at Ortega. Now, what happens here on the back straight coming into 3? Was it another car ahead or... See the 25 of Sanders down on the apron. The 13 of Masia. Oh, and Masia straight into the back of Ortega. The speed difference not doing them any wonders. Sanders, unfortunate victim, has been caught in it there, and then Hernandez, pow, right in the kisser. I see it in the background. Oh no, don't tell me Mark's involved. Oh no, not Mark. 2 innocent in parties involved in this at different times. Mark got on the apron, got on the brakes, tried to get it wound up, but it looks like nowhere to go but into the 13 of Masia. Yep. That's ruined a couple of people's races. Oh, that's horrible. Most leaders have come in for their pit stops now. Also be a lot of people looking for the wave around. Jack Sanders is probably one who should pit, because he hasn't pitted yet. At least not according to my softwares. Well, it looks like my softwares might be buggy as well. So he might have pitted, I don't know. It's currently got Hernandez scored as the leader. He's coming in now. Hennessy will retake the lead. And it looks like it's going to be Hennessy, Campbell, Slammer, Rickard, Cook, Harmon, Horton, Champeau, Fallor, and Collins as your top 10. Waiting for it all to equalise out a bit. Of course, on the graphic there on the left, you see Hernandez is still scored as P4, even though he's not. So the way I have it right now is we have Hennessy, Campbell, Slammer, Rickard, Cook, Harmon, Horton, Champeau, Collins, and Ghoston is your top 10. Chambliss in 11th. A whole bunch of chaos with a whole bunch of people still coming into and out of the pits. But we are at 1 to green now, so all the wave rounds will get waved around. That's going to be Ortega, McCoy, Barnes, Crampton, and Griesbaum. Possibly Watson, Sanders, Masia, and Isaacson as well, though Masia was involved in that crash. But your top 10, Hennessy, Campbell, Slammer, Rickard, Cook, Harmon, Horton, Champeau, Collins, Ghoston. They're all sitting there ready to go. We only have 2 retirements in a row so far. That's Kyle Kraus, Jonas Marquez, 1 DNS, and Andrew Perkins. The pace car's going to make that hard left turn into pit lane. We're going to go green here once more. Andrew Hennessy chose the inside lane for the restart, but he also gets to control the restart inside of the restart zone. And he's off and racing straight away. Excellent jump there. Not such a great jump for Ken Campbell, who was outside front row. And he has to battle it out with Joe Slammer side by side now as they go through turns 1 and 2. How is this going to end for these two? And it's going to be very respectful, no contact made. We look through the field. And no contact anywhere in the field as the battle still on for P2 in earnest. A little bit of hip and shoulder there maybe between Slammer and Campbell. And Campbell comes out on top. Here comes the 05 of Rickard now. He's looking for a way around Slammer. He's not going to get one. Racing action starting to pick up. And we now just have, 50 laps to go. In fact, make that 49 laps to go because they're almost at the start-finish line. Thomas Harmon has made his way all the way up into P5 now, battling side by side with Corey Cook. Cook with the advantage going through turns 1 and 2. Harmon will be back down to P6. There's Champeau and Austin Collins right behind him. Austin was trying to do the super undercut. Maybe the 2-stop strategy was going to try and make it work, but unfortunately that caution ruined his plans. He has speed for a top 3 car, but now he's mired down in the pack. As it looks like most things for the guys here at the front. Single filing out and going back to calm. Although not for Scott Rickard in the 05, who's going to attempt to move on Slammer. into turn 3, down the inside, on the apron a little bit, getting as much of the track use as he can. And he's going to make it stick. Up into P3 goes Scott Rickard. Through treacherous turn 2. I don't think there's ever been such a thing as a treacherous turn 2. But look at the pace that Scott Rickard has right now, though. He's all over the tail of that 15 truck. In the background, we've got moves being made. Austin Collins in the 74. Oh, touch from the 12 to the 74. Couldn't tell whether that was Champeau trying to squeeze into line behind Austin, or whether Austin trying to come down off the wall a little bit, maybe. Thomas Harmon trying to get up the inside of Corey Cook, and it was almost contact. Here comes Austin down to the outside of Harmon. Collins makes that move stick super smooth. Of course, smart head on Harmon's shoulders there. He's not wanting to go side by side coming out of turn 2, because normally that will end in disaster. He's also not letting the 12 of Champeau have a chance to get around him. Here goes Austin Collins now trying to make moves up ahead. Gets to the inside of the Cuckoo Monster himself, Corey Cook. Makes that move stick in turns 1 and 2. Here goes Thomas Harmon now. He looks to the inside of the Cook as well. Everyone trying to follow suit behind. And Harmon gets it. But will Chris Champeau do the same? He ties it in super deep. So deep I couldn't even get the camera angle put ahead in time. And he makes the move as well. Now let's see if things have just chilled out a little bit here. Focusing anywhere and everywhere. Now one person hoping for a caution right now is a 39 and James Watson. Currently trapped as the only car 1 lap down. If he gets that lucky dog, he'll be back on the lead lap. Looks like most things have chilled out for now, though. Everyone's just trying to drive their own race at the minute. Work to the tyres that they got. Although in saying that, Austin Collins makes the move on Slama, gets around him. Harmon's going to take advantage here as well. And let's see if the champ can do the same. Scott Rickard also making moves up ahead. Just when I thought they were getting calm, they had to go and prove me wrong. Rickard couldn't make the move stick. But the 12 and the 38 could. Scott Rickard once more attempting to move on the inside of Campbell into 3. He's definitely getting a good run. It's just the exit of 4 where he really struggles. But everyone very tightly packed right now. Top 5 separated by less than a tenth. Well, not less than a tenth, sorry. Less than a second. This whole group here is down to our top 7. There's a little bit of a gap behind Slammer to the 61 of Cook. Scott Rickard definitely getting some really good runs here through turns 1 and 2. Much better than anything Campbell's been getting. Why I think we're seeing so many dive bomb attempts into turn 3. Andrew Hennessy, he's still just controlling the pace here at the front. No one's really had much for him all day so far. One small mistake though, and everything could go from chocolates to boiled lollies for him. So he's still going to be at the peak of his concentration powers. But with that, while we still have a moment of calm, I think we're going to go to another commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have more action from the Speedway Memes and Media 110 coming up for you very shortly, including the end of the race. Welcome back to the Speedway Memes and Media 110 right here from the Darlington Raceway. And as you can see, we're still going pretty nicely here. The top 7 has just absolutely pulled away from the rest of the field. But still, no one has been able to mount a move on to the front running Hennessy. As loose was Austin Collins there. He's now under attack from Harmon. Harmon similarly under attack from the guys behind him. They want him to hurry up and try and make the move so they can try and make moves as well. Everyone was at a little bit of a stalemate here for a while. Then that one mistake just started making things exciting again. Collins going to concede position to at least Harmon, but here comes Champ as well. Side by side, they're going to go out of 2. Almost contact. In fact, there might have been a little bit of contact there all the way down towards the inside fence was the 12 of Champo. He comes back up side by side with Corey Cook as they go through turns 3 and 4. Cook now looking for an outside move on Collins. And he's going to get there. He's got the nose ahead coming into turn number 1. Gets Collins completely cleared. That's Collins now down 2 positions in not very much time at all. And all because he had one small little bobble. So I just had to deal with a thing that I just saw in chat. I'm pretty sure that might have been a scam. I'll check it out later just to be sure. Here goes the 12 now. Chris Champeau looking for a move on Austin. Austin's tyres must be fading. He's not the greatest at conserving them. Never has been the greatest at conserving them. Oh, Collins just about catching the fence. That could be the advantage that is needed. Will Champ be able to make the move here going into turn 1? He's done the hard yards to get side by side, and he'll get there. Slama also trying to get up in there. Collins lifted massively. It balked everyone behind. We also have a massive gap now forming between these guys and the guys ahead. There's Thomas Harmon sitting there in 4th. Unequivocally, he will be the hard charger of this race unless something happens to him in the late stanza of the race. Kyle McCoy has gone a lap down. That's a surprise. I think he's pitted for an extra set here. He's taken over the fastest lap of the race to a 30.409, I think that says. Corey Cook earning the stripe. He was trying to get a run on Thomas Harmon there. Running slightly higher than what Thomas was doing. Couldn't quite get there though. Looking at Scott Rickard now. He's losing ground to Ken Campbell ahead after all those attempts at trying to make a move. Couldn't get there, couldn't get it done. Tell you what, Thomas Harmon's not the only one who's been making some big moves. That Failor, he didn't qualify. He went from 23rd to 10th right now, so he's plus 13 for the race. Corey Cook 17th to 5th at the moment. Oh, we got a caution. I do believe that one's for the two of Hernandez. This is big for James Watson. James Watson will be back on the lead lap now because of this caution. But what has unfolded for the 2 car? Trying to get underneath of Travis Barnes. This is in turn 4. Jonathan comes up a little bit. Barnes comes down a little bit. Small contact there in the middle of the corner. And around goes Jonathan. Right in front of poor Mark, who, hasn't been involved in enough apparently. Slightest of contact though, so that's really good for Mark. It's not a big hit. It's just a little one. But that has changed the complexion of the race once more. As I said, the biggest beneficiary of this right now, James Watson. For a while there, he was the only car 1 lap down. He's now one of 2 cars 1 lap down, but he is the first car 1 lap down. So in a second here, we might see if we can pull Jonathan in for a quick chat. Jonathan, Corey up in the booth. You have a copy?
I just,
Now, I know you have a massive disdain for this track and the way it drives and everything like that. But for this situation here, it looked like you might have just been sliding up a little bit while Travis was trying to arc down off the corner. Is that the way you seen it? Just a little bit of a racing deal there?
uh, I see it more of he's being aggressive for it for 15th and 16th. I don't know why he was racing that aggressive just for that spot. I mean, I'm killed. I got nothing to gain, but he's slow off the corners and everything. And all I saw was him just coming down, and we just made contact. So it's all right. I got another 4x to give. It's fine.
All right. Well, yeah, we know with the new warning systems coming in, things can get a little bit hectic. What's it been like out there so far? But I'll give you a second here just to concentrate on getting into your box.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's super loose. I don't know if you've seen everybody, but it's just been super loose. I'm about to look at the contact right now since I still got damage to fix from that first incident. But it's been loose, and then occasionally it just snaps tight. So it's really just been a race of just who can hold on to it. But yeah, it's just typical Darlington. Just handling goes away after 5 laps, it seems. So uh, we got what, I don't know how many laps left to the end, but should this next restart should be interesting because I'm pretty sure everybody's going to go for it now.
Oh, absolutely. Well, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to while we got you up here?
The usual. I got to give a shout out to you and everybody who puts this together. Got to give a shout out to the team, even though we're not doing that great tonight. I always hated this track, but just got to get points some way. So, uh, and of course the girlfriend, can't forget her, or else she'll kick me. So, but yeah, just appreciate everybody. Of course, the usual. We're just trying to get points at this point now, stay in that top 10, or I don't know if I'm still in the top 10, but get close to that top 10.
All right, well, we're
Yeah,
just about getting
we'll
ready
see.
for restart here, Jonathan. Thank you for your time. Good luck for the rest of it. You're still in it, mate. You're still in it.
We'll see. Thank you, Corey.
All right, guys, that was our 2-second chat there with Jonathan Hernandez as he's going to try and get back into the race. Go back up to our leaders now. And it's going to be Andrew Hennessy leading away from Campbell. Harmon in third. Rickard, Cook, Champeau, Slammer, Crampton, Baylor, and Ortega in 10th. And we're going to have the sum of 17 laps to go here on the restart. Here we go. Pace car is in. As Jonathan said, we're going to be seeing a lot of guys just sending it. Here we go.
Green flag.
Excellent start once more for the 94 of Hennessy. A great restart as well for the 38 of Harmon. He's absolutely trying to send it, trying to take away that second place from Campbell. Campbell sends it up high. Can he maintain it? He can. Harmon got a little bit loose. They keep it going. There's contact further back. Around goes Corey Cook. He's managed not to get it back up onto the track. And he's far enough down that it didn't bring out a caution. James Watson's looking a little bit unsettled here. I'm not sure what happened to him. There's just action aplenty right now. Less than 20 laps to go. Everyone's on fresh tyres. Everyone is absolutely pushing as hard as they possibly can. So Sama trying to look for a way around the outside of TJ Crampton there. Couldn't quite get it. And remember, there is still plenty of time for these tyres to fall off too. Track might be rubbered in, but it doesn't mean it's any easier for these tyres to maintain what they got. As we're starting to reach the 10 to go mark. We're not quite there yet, but we are almost there. Going to be 13 to go next time at the line. It's still absolutely anyone's race from here. Looked like Thad Failor there was making a move. It didn't work out for him, no. He's getting passed by just about everyone. There's Austin Collins as well. He hasn't been having a good run of it. Thad threw a big block on Austin there, actually. Just in front of them, that's Ghost On, experimenting with some alternate dimensions. Hennessy still leading the way, though, comfortably over Campbell and Harmon. But even then, as a single car, it is still easy to make a mistake. It looks like it's all gone back to calm stations. The flurry of activity we had after that restart was incredible. As Cook and Watson fighting it out at the back of the pack. They're battling over 18th and 19th right now. I think Watson's just not really having a fun time of it. There's some people that absolutely love Darlington, love the way it races and everything about it. Oh, there's contact. That was between Rickard and Champeau. Champ's lost a lot of ground there. He's probably going to lose another one here to the 9 of Slama. As Rickard under attack from Crampton. We've got 9 to go at the line. Rickard using all the momentum. Crampton was trying to side draft as much as he could. You see the slightly differing lines. Everyone in that little group got loose. Everyone's struggling for grip. The 9 of Slama actually must have hit the wall. He's fallen right back into the clutches of Ortega. Now this is racing right here. The super intense chess match. This is what Output's known for. Oh, as Crampton gets the fence. Up the inside goes the 12 of Champeau. Crampton's still a little bit loose. But that fence hit has definitely stunted all of his momentum. They're battling behind as well. Crampton just going to hold on for the moment. He's going to make sure not to get the fence again, or else it's going to be a very different story. As it's Griesbaum and Ortega fighting behind. Griesbaum on the inside, Ortega on the outside. Oh, Ortega very lucky not to catch the fence there. Chambliss trying to make it 3 wide, couldn't quite get there. He's going to have to just stick it 2 wide. As we go 2x2 formation, Griesbaum trying to pull off the slide jump on Ortega, gets it done. Nice dirt racing move right there. Side by side, Collins and Chambliss. Chambliss had to back out of it there in turn 1. He didn't want to run into Collins. And that's put him under threat from Ghost On. But look at this man, Andrew Hennessy leading the way. 5 to go. He has the fastest lap of the race. And he was the fastest on the last lap as well. At the moment, he's probably the most unstoppable force we have on track. That's actually, honestly, pretty par of the course for him as well. He was one of the only people who could challenge Christian Budd on a weekly basis. This is another little interesting battle that's continuing to foster some healthy racing. It's Crampton, Champeau, Slammer. Champeau was very defensive there on Slammer going into turn 3. Didn't want him making the move. Slammer just looking for any and every kind of momentum advantage he can get. For the moment, it is all going to be for naught. We're going to go check back in with our leader, maybe. No, there's contact. Champ got into the back of Crampton there, giving him the little hurry up with 2 to go. Now we'll go to our leader. Comes down the back straight for the penultimate time into turns 3 and 4. He has a 1.5 second lead. It's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for Andrew Hennessy. Andrew Hennessy now coming out of the final corner for the final time. The winner of the Speedway Memes Media 110 here from the Darlington Raceway. It's going to be the 94 of Andrew Hennessy. P2 is going to go to way of Ken Campbell. P3 from 21st position. It's going to be Thomas Harmon. What an incredible race. These guys put it all out there, and we only had, what was it, 2 cautions. There is Hennessy, Campbell, Harmon, Rickard, Crampton, Champeau, Slammer, Griesbaum, Ortega, and Collins. That was your top 10. Then we've got Chambliss, Goston, Horton, Baylor, Hernandez, Barnes, McCoy, Cook, Watson, and Sanders. And then we end off the field, Massia, Isaacson, Penchkoff, Kraus, Marquez, and Perkins, who did not participate. It looks like the burnout's already complete here for Hennessy. He's already pulled the car off. So with that, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we will have driver interviews. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, guys. Alrighty, guys, it is now time for driver interviews. And as always, we kick things off with our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. And today's Hard Charger started down in 21st position. You know who he is. He finished in P3. Of course, it is the 38 of Mr. Thomas Harmon. Thomas, you were just talking to me there before we went back onto live, and dirty air was the detriment to you not getting further along and maybe challenging Hennessy there for the win.
Yeah, it was. If you were behind anybody, especially when you got within a couple tenths of them, it was just absolutely dump truck in the corners, especially on exit and entry. But didn't do myself any favors on like the fifth lap of that final run. I forgot what end of the track we're on, sent it off into three. I had to do everything I could to not send it into the wall, and then about with 5 to go, I think it was, I clipped the wall in three, and the truck just seemed to get slower after that.
Yeah, it definitely just looked so bad trying to make passes and just really having to rely on other people's mistakes. But what happened in your qualifying run that made you start so poorly?
Well, I knew I was getting an EOL anyway from last week, the last lap wreck of last week. So I figured there was no point in me, going out there, starting up, getting the front starting spot, having to wait for everybody to pass me. I was going to be at the back anyway, so I just kind of rode around during for the qualifying effort. Uh, just make it as easy as possible on everybody.
All right, so just gaming the system a little bit there. I don't mind that a little bit, smart thinking. And get away with a hard charger because of it. But that doesn't take away any of the accolade or the fact of you went through the entire fucking field just about, and you come away with a very solid top three out of this race.
Yeah, during the first run, I at the end of the stage break, I was farther up than what I thought I would be, and being at the starting at the back half of the field, you got to take it a little bit easier on the tires at the start of the run, and that definitely played a huge benefit towards the end of that first run, right before the caution come out. I was um, gaining on a lot of people. I think there were some laps that I was turning quicker than Hennessy at every now and then, but yeah, I was definitely looking forward to a long run. Unfortunately, we got a couple cautions to shorten it up at the end.
All right, now let's look forward to next week. And I haven't done my
Two
due
weeks.
diligence. Oh, 2 weeks. That's right. We got a week off. I forgot about that because of week 13.
Yep.
But in 2 weeks, we're going to Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I'm pretty sure this is the Super Speedway layout. So what's the feeling like for you as we go to Atlanta Super Speedway in 2 weeks?
I really cannot wait to meet the stands at about halfway up the front stretch. So I'm sure that's where my truck's going to land. But we'll have to pack a couple beers in the truck for when we do land there, and maybe grab a couple hot dogs, poke them on the engine as it's turned over. But we'll be there.
All right, so tailgate party in what was it? You say halfway up the
So,
stands.
yeah, somewhere I don't know where, but that's where we're going to end up.
All right, excellent. All right, Thomas. Before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you up in the booth, broadcasting it to everybody, all the fans and drivers that show up each week, all the league admins, drivers council, and everyone on the truck.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Thomas. Congratulations on coming home with P3 and the Hard Charger Award. And we look forward to seeing what you can do in a couple of weeks at Atlanta.
I'll be there. Have a good one, Corey.
All right, guys. That was our third place getter and Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner, the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Coming up next, we're going to have our second place getter, and he could have been a good bid for the lead. But a big battle there with Thomas towards the end of the race definitely put a stunt to that. But of course, it is going to be the 15, Mr. Shirtless himself, Ken Campbell. Ken, just a V-neck here tonight, mate. Because you only choked a little bit, just not getting the win, but a solid second place here tonight at Darlington.
Yeah, a lot of times it feels like a win, keeping pace with Hennessy there. Thought I got to the inside of him once going into one, and I was like, okay, I might have something for him here. And he just drove around me and was like, nah, bro. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to chill here and take my P2. And then I see Thomas creeping up. And in the back of my head, I'm just like, he started last. He started last. You can't let him do this to you. So almost psyched myself out. It was tugging on the V-neck a little bit. But we were able to gather ourselves and bring it home P2.
And yeah, at Darlington, anything where you can be right up there with Andrew Hennessy and manage to hold off Thomas Harmon, especially with Thomas's history here in the Output Racing League. It's definitely not a bad thing at all.
Oh yeah. I'm extremely proud of the way that I run this race. I think this is the second time at Darlington in any car in any league that Kyle McCoy has not lapped me. So I was just judging based off of that, and I was like, all right, McCoy didn't lap me. I'm good to go. And then I see Thomas coming from the back, and I'm like, all right, I have a new nemesis here, but we were able to hold him off.
Now, what was it like just trying to deal with the dirty air? We touched on it briefly with Thomas. Dirty air was pretty hard to deal with around here, wasn't it?
It was. Luckily for me, especially in 3 and 4, I held a much lower line than everybody else, and so 3 and 4 was great for me all night. My issues were 1 and 2, and yeah, I definitely think it's because people were running the same line as me. That first run, I stayed about a half a second back while the guys were up battling, and I noticed that they just started getting tighter and tighter, and I was like, all right, I'm glad I'm back here in the clean air. And stayed back there long enough for the tires to make enough of a switch that it wasn't going to be that big of a battle when I got there. And so then actually on the next to last run when I was behind Hennessy, I thought about dropping back a little bit because the dirty air right behind him was pretty bad in 1 and 2. But luckily in 3 and 4, he just had a much different entry angle, and so I was able to only kind of get dirty air at one end of the track, and I think that's really a big help for me getting the position that I did.
All right, now let's look forward to 2 weeks' time. We're going to the Atlanta Super Speedway. So what's the feeling like for you as we head into the big ATL?
I love old Atlanta. I like new Atlanta. Coming after Daytona week and it just being a really bad week at Daytona, that's kind of getting me a little skittish with it. But hopefully in 2 weeks I'll be good to go. I love super speedway racing as long as you have the ability to make moves. And so yeah, I think I've got to figure that out a little bit better at Atlanta. But yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, can anyone give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, as always, my wife Casey, my kids Logan, Jet, and Easton. Special shout out to Logan and Jet. Today is their 10th birthday, so happy birthday to them. Jet played flag football tonight, scored 6 touchdowns. Very proud of him. All my teammates at Nuka-Cola and the guys back in the shop at Storm Motorsports. Everybody in the league, especially the last couple races, we've really cleaned it up. It's been some really fun racing, and so definitely big shout out to them, and looking forward to finishing out the season. Everybody at Team Watson Racing Setups for their support. Check them out for open setups. You can use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off, and you up in the booth.
All right, well, thank you very much, Ken. Congratulations on coming home P2, and we look forward to seeing what we can do in a couple of weeks in Georgia.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, guys, that was our second place getter, the 15, Mr. Superman himself, Ken Campbell. Coming up next, we're going to have tonight's winner. And he didn't show up for his interview last week, but he definitely did this week. Tonight's winner, the 94 of Andrew Hennessy. Andrew, you put on an absolute clinic out there. You took the pole. You led every single lap. Even though you practiced starting from the back in the pit party, you didn't need it because the cautions fell at the perfect time for you.
Yeah, I found out from practicing in the back in the pit parties. I want to be in clean air. The dirty air sucked. So after that, I just practiced my qualifying run, and that was about it.
Well, it
But yeah,
definitely worked.
clean air was just so good. Like I could literally just do anything I wanted. I could like back up as much as I want, go hard if I wanted to. Like literally, if you just had clean air, you were golden here, basically.
Yeah, well, Darlington always one of those tracks where dirty air has always played havoc with the cars. But just what was it like just having so much damn luck where you didn't need to make a green flag stop at all?
I wanted green flags. I really wanted green flag stops. Honestly, I felt like I felt the race went green to start. It would have been so much easier than doing restarts. I hate doing restarts. I just wanted it to go green. Because I think the first run before we were about to pit, I had like 2.5 seconds or 3 seconds, something like that. So I had a pretty comfortable gap. So I was looking forward to it. And then the caution came out. I'm like, oh no. But
And
luckily, we got some more green flag runs in.
in that first run, were you a little bit worried with some of those guys who pitted really early, like Austin Collins, who I'm assuming was intentionally going to go for a two stop to begin with, because he pitted so early, he got on those fresh tires, and he was 2 seconds faster than everyone for a good solid 10 laps there, and drove his way back
Really?
onto the lead lap.
I didn't know that actually. That's kind of crazy. That actually could have kind of worked. I so like at least the people who are on my strategy doing one stops, I felt like even if they pitted before me, I felt okay because I felt like the tire advantage here. Like even if you pit like 2 laps later, it's just so much greater. You're just gonna be so much faster. So I
Yep.
felt like I was in a pretty good spot. I was just gonna react to whatever Ken did basically and pit a lap after him. But yeah, I actually kind of wish that went green now. I want to see how that plays out. If they won with 2 stops, that would have been great.
It definitely would have been interesting, and I think if anyone had a chance of pulling it off, it would have been Austin, because I'm pretty sure when he pitted from the top half dozen or so. So it could have been
Yeah, I
something
saw him
to
flying by.
watch. Yeah, that was him on his fresh tires. He was like zoom zoom, and see you later.
I thought he's got an incident or something. I thought he got damaged. Just had to pit early. I didn't realize that he was actually going for a 2 stop. I didn't think that was really possible, but that's kind of crazy actually.
So how was the racing out there tonight? In what is obviously a new to us truck. We've only been started racing this particular version of the Craftsman truck this season. And Darlington usually known of being a loose and tight track at the same time.
Yeah, I really like Darlington. It's one of my favorite tracks to drive at. Especially the truck felt pretty good in clean air, but if you were in dirty air, the car just decided it was just gonna plow tight into the wall. Um, so my goal basically throughout each run was just save better than the guy right behind me, and I would just back up to the guy behind me and just make sure I got good enough exits, and that was about it. I think after the second run, I had like 87 on my tires. I was just about to take off with like it was like 20 to go before the caution came out at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was most. I think literally, if I fell back to second, there's no way I'm getting into the lead. Like whoever was going to be in the lead of that race, I feel like if Ken got in the lead, he was going to win. Thomas, Scott, Austin, any of them would have been like just as dominant as me in the lead. It's just the clean air is just so much better. And when you have to deal with dirty air and having it, it's just so much better being clean air. That's about it. That's all I gotta say about that.
All right, Andrew. Let's look forward to 2 weeks' time, because we've got a week off for week 13, and in 2 weeks we're going to be going to the Atlanta Super Speedway. So what's the feeling like for you as we head into Georgia for Atlanta week?
Can we do the old one? I don't think I've finished an Atlanta race before.
Oh no!
At least on the lead lap. They usually crash, so I don't think I've won there ever either. I don't think I've finished top 10 before. So I'm just gonna win and lead every lap. That's what we're gonna do.
All right, that sounds like a solid plan.
I definitely won't be upside down by lap 10.
All right. Well, before we let you go here tonight, Andrew, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, you for doing the broadcast. Everyone who races in this league and all the admins who put this on. It was a lot cleaner this week, so it was more fun. A lot more green flag runs, so I had a good time at least.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Don't ever miss an interview again, or else I'll reach this hand through my microphone and give you a slap up the side of the face. And we look forward to seeing what you can do in 2 weeks at Atlanta.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, that was tonight's winner, Andrew Hennessy, and I had to have a little bit of banter with him for missing his interview last week. He did it in protest. I understand. But that's going to be all for us here tonight. Thank you all for coming out. And next week we're off, so we'll see you guys all in 2 weeks. But until then, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Atlanta.